Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. As you can see, I'm sitting inside my new 2026 Model Y. I've had it for about a month, so it's given me a good opportunity to take a look at some of the changes that Tesla quietly made but make a big impact on this refresh of this model. So in this video, we're going to break down the exterior and then jump into the interior. We're going to take a look at some things that I think they did right, especially with the full self-driving, as well as the game-changing power rear seats. Then we'll take a look at some of the cons that I feel like they missed the mark on, but they definitely can improve on in some of the later generations of this car. So let's jump right into it. So right off the bat, the 2026 Model Y keeps the signature silhouette of the previous Model Y, but there are a few minor tweaks like a cleaner front fascia, some updated wheels that give it such a much sharper and more premium vibe than the model before. It's not a dramatic redesign, but Tesla's clearly refining rather than reinventing what they did in the previous version. For the interior, you're going to get the classic Tesla minimalism with a few nice upgrades, such as the ambient lighting, the improved trim, and better materials just overall. The center screen definitely remains the command center of the entire vehicle, and it's super responsive, it's crystal clear, and now it's even more integrated with everyday functions for the vehicle. Now, one small gripe I guess I can say for this car as far as some interior things has got to be the glove box. Like, I get the minimalist design and things like that. However, sometimes if I just want to jump into my glove box, pull out registration or throw in some lotion or whatever else I've got in there, I would love to just be able to push on it or hit a button and it automatically opens. However, obviously that's not the case in this car because you have to go through the actual menus to get it open. Cool thought, but practical, not really. So I really do wish that there was actually an actual physical button on the glove box that I could actually use. As far as the full self-driving, love it. I've used it a number of times going long distances and I have not had any problems. It's extremely smooth. The lane changes that it predicts are in line with what I would do if I was actually driving the car. It recognizes speed bumps, stops at stop signs, changes lanes when it's appropriate. And based on the area I've upped my percentage so that it goes a little bit above the speed limit to keep up with the flow of traffic. I've got no issues with it. Again, it's going to be an extra $99 a month if you just didn't buy it outright for the $8,000. But in my opinion, I think it's really worth it. Depending on how far you're driving, it definitely can give you some value for your money. And I'll definitely be keeping it on mine because I really enjoy the feature. If it's somewhere I want to go, I can kind of take my hands off the wheel and allow it to drive by itself with no real problems. So definitely the FSD beta is an A+ in my book. So obviously, again, this is my first Tesla. So the issues with people and the gripes on the stock, I really don't have. My Model Y obviously has the stock for left and right turn signals, and to me it's smooth. I love it. And the steering wheel is where you'll find controls if you're trying to change your light settings or turn on your windshield wipers. This button controls pretty much my volumes and skipping songs and stuff when I'm listening to music. And then on the right side, you have access to all your cameras with this button here to pull up your front, or you can switch to your rear cameras by swiping the screen. And then obviously you have the voice control, or if you hold it down, you now have access to FRONK, which is installed in the newest update. Now with this model, instead of having the standard gear stalk that allows you to switch from different gears, Tesla now lets the car predict, drive, or reverse based on your surroundings, or you can swipe it on the screen. After a short adjustment period, it feels like this is more intuitive and real futuristic. This is a feature that I really love about the car, not having to switch a gear from reverse or drive, just knowing that once I put my seatbelt on, press down on the brake pedal, that the car is going to decide which way it thinks I need to go based on the distances and what's around it. It can see in its camera and automatically put me in that gear, so I'm ready to go immediately. As far as interior sound and ride quality, this car is definitely still tuned more like a sporty SUV crossover. It's very quick, even at this version. 0 to 60 about what, 5.3 or 5.6 seconds. It does not feel like it. This car takes off very quickly, and the ride quality is excellent. I think whatever complaints that other people had in the previous versions, Tesla listened, and they definitely made some corrections. It's extremely smooth. I have a lot of speed bumps and things in my neighborhood, and it goes over them, and I don't feel like I'm being jarred out of my seat. The actual interior quality and materials seems very luxurious in a way. The white seats to me add a very more touch of elegance into the car. The quality, everything I think is really a very good touch over the last version of the Model Y. One of the most practical and I feel like game-changing new additions is the power rear seats. At the tap of a button, you can easily fold them completely flat from the trunk area. So this is super important for like if you're at the grocery store or maybe hauling some items, instead of having to manually do this by pulling levers and stuff to get them down. With the push of a button, you can lay both seats flat down fairly quickly. So this is something I really love. And not only can you lay them flat, you can also pull the seats back up electronically with just the touch of a button. That to me is definitely a game changer and something that I love about this car. So I'm sure you guys noticed that my screen in my 2026 Model Y was not what the normal screens look like. I've actually installed a swivel mount onto it to give me a little bit more access and visibility on the screen when I'm driving. Let's be real here. Tesla's center screen is your command center. Tilting it and slightly moving it towards you or moving it away from you, especially when you've got a lot of sunlight or even sunsets, makes it so much easier to see your maps, your music, and driving info without having to lean your body to make sure you can see it. Many people, they look at this mount and say, oh my God, how much is it gonna cost to install it? But I did this myself. It took me maybe 15 minutes to do it, and like 5 of that was probably just reading the instructions. It's a super easy install. Anybody can really do it as long as you follow the directions. So don't be afraid to buy one and think that you can't do it and you're gonna have to pay somebody to install it for you. You can definitely do it yourself. Looking to get something that's gonna be easier for you to seize, that you can move, whether it's you or even the passenger, definitely take a look at the link that I've provided for the swivel mount that I have and purchase one. You're definitely not gonna regret it for the long ownership of your Tesla. Covered the things that I really enjoy about the car. Let's get to some of the cons where I feel like Tesla still needs to do a little bit of work on. The first one has got to be that the FRONK is not automatic. Like, this car is extremely smart. I can open almost everything from inside on my screen except the FRONK. For it to still be manual, to me, seems like something that they definitely need to hit on the next upgrade, because it just doesn't seem right that that's literally the only thing I have to go outside of the car to actually close. Again, it's minor, it's not a huge deal, but it would be great if I can open and close the front from inside the car like I can do the rear hatch. Another con that I feel like they can do a little bit better on is the location of the USB-C. At this point, everyone's phone is a USB-C. That's what we're looking for. So the fact that there's only one that's located in the center console in the back, it's not super easily accessible if you're trying to plug in while you're actually driving. It would be much better if where they have the charging pads, there was a USB-C that was integrated into this area here. Now, there are some in the rear, and that's great for the rear passengers, but for me as the driver, I feel like it would be more convenient for me if it was one located where I could easily be accessible instead of having to dig into the armrest to actually take it. And again, I think the last con is something I've got to hit on again. It has got to be the no button located on the glove box. I feel like, again, I get the simplistic design, but it would be so much easier if I could just open it and close it without having to go through my screen to get to the button to then open it. And then I won't even get into the size. If it at least had a button, I could deal with it. So that's something I feel like is something that they could add. Again, nitpicky con, but it's something I feel like would be better for usability. All right, guys, so that will finish my review of my 2026 Model Y. I feel like Tesla is definitely going in the right direction with this generation of the new Model Y. It's obviously sleeker. The interior quality is amazing. The ride quality is very good. The tech is superior to any I've seen in any car, whether it's an EV or gas operated car. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. They still got work to do. However, I think that they're getting pretty close with what they have. So if you're looking in the market for an EV, definitely check out the new 2026 Model Y. I think you'll definitely be happy with it. If you got any questions about anything that I've said in the video or just that I didn't cover, shoot me a message in the comments and I'll definitely be sure to get back to you. If you like this video, make sure that you like it and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Have a good one.